Alright, welcome back everybody. Today, we are taking apart a Puch E50 Maxi from, I think, 1971?
7.
This is... Oh, I
6.
can't even read this. Oh, never mind, it's a 1980. My bad. Okay, so what we're doing here, or what Robbie's doing here, is we are taking this cylinder head off. Should come off nice and easy. There's 4 bolts. And you can kind of see he's working on one. There's another one here, here, and here. The reason, of course, why we're doing all this is because we are replacing the engine bearings. We got this for like $300 off of Craigslist. This thing's minty as anything could possibly be. And the guy said it had a frozen engine. So we kind of took a risk. You don't ever want to buy a moped with a seized engine. We took a risk, we bought it, and turns out it was just some bad bearings in the engine that eventually freed themselves up. And we went through, we cleaned it, and got it all set up, and now I'm finally getting around to it. Or at least Robert's getting around to it.
Judgment Day.
Yeah. Fun little facts about the Puch Maxi. It's one of the most popular mopeds in the United States. I can't... How many millions of these did they import? I mean, it's crazy.
I have no clue.
Somewhere around, like, I don't know, 2 million or something. But anyway.
I'm going to wiki your ass on that.
Sure. Alright, so inside here, we see there's a bunch of corroded gumminess. And what
it's not corrosion. It's,
not
more
corroded,
carbon.
Yeah, carbon buildup. Sorry,
no
I've
air
had a couple
leaks,
of
though.
these, so... Yep, no air leaks that we can see. The gasket looks alright. It's probably just running a little bit rich.
That's actually not terrible, seeing as the last time this thing's been taken apart is...
What, like a couple years ago?
No.
About a year ago?
God only knows. When did we buy this?
Oh,
we didn't take this engine apart. We've never taken this engine apart.
We never took this engine apart?
No. I've never broken down this engine.
I thought you did at one point.
No, I literally brought this bike in. It was so minty from the barn. All we did was purple power and a scrub brush, and that's what you have here.
Okay.
And it started right up. It did.
Yeah. All right, this next thing we're doing down here is taking this exhaust. Or
that one's different.
Studs off. Is it really different?
That's different.
That's awesome. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there are 2 exhaust studs down there.
Yeah, that's a bigger one.
That's awesome.
So God only knows what studs are in this.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what the clutches look like. I've got some big plans for this thing. I'm looking at probably by the time we're just doing the engine bearings, we're doing one thing at a time, you know, taking the engine apart, replacing a couple parts.
Starting from square one with the bearings.
Yep, square one with the bearings. And we know it runs. I had it going about 25 miles an hour.
But it just kept losing power, and you could tell it needed help, and it's not going to last on a ride. It just needs done.
Exactly. So
the great part about this is you're going to invest probably $400 into a whole new engine.
No,
no, but that's all the extent of an entire engine.
I'm going to invest more than that.
$400.
I'm going to invest way more than that. I'm looking at...
If you were smart, you could do 45 on $400.
You know what? I'll take that as a challenge. We'll get this thing to 45 on $400.
That's easy.
Starting right now.
Starting right now.
Bruce? Shake
All
on
right.
it? All right.
All right, let's do it. I wish this was tree land and we just had all the parts sitting
Do we
on a
want to? Do we want to include the engine bearings in that total?
Absolutely, we do.
All right. So $50 for the engine bearings shipped to the house.
That was even kind of loose too.
No, I put that. I'm the one who put that one on. It wasn't like I couldn't tighten it down too much. I didn't have the right tools at home.
I need a 10 wrench. Oh, that's a bigger one too.
Yeah, it is. They're completely different. What size are those? We could run to O'Reilly tomorrow and grab all those nuts.
No, that's the same. But it doesn't need to be a king nut. It needs to be...
Yeah. No, it needs to be a regular...
It's a capped nut, and that's not okay for that.
Right. We just need a regular nut for that.
The good old Bing.
Mm-hmm.
Stock Bingy.
What Robbie just did there was take off the carburetor with the intake.
Is the gas off?
Hell if I know. Reserve.
We're gonna find out.
I think this is off.
It's off. Good call.
Nice.
Is there even any gas in it?
Yeah, there is, I think. Oh, no, that's why it wasn't starting.
That's why it didn't start for us.
Right.
Okay, so the best part about these bikes is, look, we're already down to the block. That was nice. That's got a lot of oil in it. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, me too. That means it wasn't seized.
Yeah. Let me clean this bad boy out and we'll see if it was ever seized.
Oh, does Melissa still have her Dremel here?
No, but we have a Dremel.
You have a Dremel?
Yeah.
Let's port the hell out of that thing.
Oh, I'd like to. Ported 50?
Mm-hmm.
We could do the transfers, too.
Of course we're going to do the transfers. What are you talking about?
Case transfers, too. Open these and open the case ones.
We'll open those, but the case ones I want to open for a 75cc kit. This thing's going to be a monster by the time I'm done with it. All right, well...
Let's get under some good light.
Mm-hmm. All right, so... If you haven't already figured it out yet, this is how a two-stroke works. You've got your intake... Wait, which one's... This is your intake port. Okay. So you've got your intake port. Air... Here, hold for me for a moment. Fuel air mixture comes in to here through the carburetor while the piston is in the up position. Then from that port, that's the intake port that my finger's just below, the piston comes down and pushes all of that fuel air mixture back into the crank. Now, after the crank's sitting right here, that fuel air mixture comes around the engine and up through these transfer ports. And as the piston's going back up, all that fuel air mixture comes out of these transfer ports up into the combustion chamber, and then that combustion chamber, of course, closes up, the spark plug fires, and boom, it starts all over again. The exhaust port is slightly higher than the intake port, and that way the engine can shove exhaust out as the as the piston's closing. So I think you can kind of guess. There are more detailed descriptions of how a two-stroke engine works, but that's the basic gist of it. All right, but anyway, back to the bike. Actually, I'm going to end this one now, and we'll start on another part in just a moment. All right.